Hello, I'm Samantha. This is going to be my little video about my spirituality. First of all, I don't really identify as a religious person. I say I'm pagan for my religion preference, or religion, however you want to look at that. But I don't really agree with organized religion for the simple fact of I think spirituality is something that's very ingrained in each one of us. It's something that you have to find for yourself, and you can't really find. I don't think very many people can find it through rules and ordinations and doctrines. It's possible, definitely, because I know a lot of people who are Christian, and I use Christian a lot because we're in the Southeast, but I know a lot of people who identify with Christian, Jewish, Muslim, different things that follow a set doctrine of beliefs, and they're wonderful people. They're very spiritually connected, and they're so comfortable with their soul, which is the important part. But that's just not me. I identify more spiritually with the earth and everything around me. You can kind of describe my spirituality as Native American beliefs, in the fact that I believe there is a divine spark within everything. Everything is sacred. Everything has an energy. Spirituality is a soul to it. Everything has something, and life is very important to me. I think I believe that all religions, all spiritualities lead to the same higher power, whether you see that power as the Christian God, or Allah, or Krishna, or well, I don't think that's right, actually. I think, anyway, however you view it, God and goddess, or maybe it's a pantheon of gods and goddesses. However it is, I think it's all leads to that same higher power. I don't think we can define that power as one, two, or many gods or goddesses. I think it's just the way we anthropomorphize it is what it really boils down to for me. It just depends on what makes sense to you. It's how your mind can understand it. That's where I think all the different religions and perspectives come into play. But I think it all leads to that same higher being, and if people kind of took that in consideration, that maybe I think that's a very positive way to look at it. Because if you're thinking my way is right, if you don't think my way, you're wrong, that's a very negative way to live. Just because you're never going to meet any other person in the entire world, I don't think, who has the exact same beliefs as you. It may seem like it, but once you get deep enough, no one is exactly the same. And I think that's a beautiful thing. I think it's the variety is the spice of life. So that's what I think as far as religion and spirituality and divinity and all that stuff. That's kind of a sneak peek. I don't know. It's barely tapping into it, but that's the biggest point for me. The way I express my beliefs, just everyday life. If to know me is to know my spirituality. If you know who I am, the things I do in my day-to-day life affect me spiritually. My spirituality affects who I am. Who I am affects my spirituality. It's one thing. It's not, and don't take this the wrong way, but it's not I'm Samantha and then there's Church Samantha. It's not something like that. And like I said, you're going to hear me reference Christianity a lot because, one, we are in the Bible Belt, and two, I grew up as a Christian. The reason I grew up as a Christian and identified as a Christian was because I thought it was the only path to God. Really, that's what it was. Even when I was younger and I was saved and all that stuff. So even when I was saved and baptized and all that stuff, and I was really into church, I didn't feel completely at home because I didn't completely agree with everything that was in the Bible. If you follow Jesus Christ, that's definitely a model person to follow, a model example. He was a great teacher. He had a lot of great lessons. But long story short, the Bible and Christianity itself was not for me. So I spent a long time trying to figure out who I was. It took like a year before I even realized what paganism or anything like that was. and it's something that my friends, a couple of friends that I'd known for years and had no idea that they followed this path, he finally introduced me to it, and then I found a really good friend of his who is also, and that is Angie. She's really into it, and so I've kind of learned from them, and then that really sparked my interest, and I looked into it, and I was looking up all these different religions, and paganism and was the one that kind of fit me the best. It's the one that really rang true for me. I draw from a lot of religions, though. I'm taking a religion class it starts in a couple weeks. I'm super excited about it because I love learning about it. But basically, that's what I am. If it leads to a higher power, I think it's great because I think it's all this one interconnected divine power. That's what I think it is, and it's within us all. So I'm running out of time, so I'm going to cut this short. But that's it. If you have any questions, just let me know, and Angie's going to do a video, so if you're interested in that. If you didn't see the first video of our channel, please check that out. Video responses, comments, messages, all that. Okay. See you guys!